really been doing much on the stocks today. I uploaded that video yesterday. I've mostly been listening to that video that was in the background of the video I did yesterday, all day today. Basically, it was the 3-hour Andrew Tate interview podcast, and it was very interesting. I think part of the introduction was interesting because he was talking about Islam and how he converted to Islam because it's the last true religion, not the one true religion, the last true religion. Basically, Christianity used to stand for something so it wouldn't fall for anything. Well, now it falls for pretty much anything. And Islam is the only religion left that doesn't. However, I would say that the only part of Christianity that is still steadfast might be the Seventh-day Adventists or the Sabbath keepers. They're pretty strict. I mean, they're not as strict as the Muslims, but they're still pretty strict. So, they're the last of the Mohicans, I guess you could say, when it comes to true Christianity. Anyway, I'm not sure if I would call myself a Christian or not. I am more like the traditional Native American belief in the fact that I believe in a great spirit, but I don't believe in making religions out of history books. So, yeah. Anyways. But I found it interesting. You know, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. And so I just wanted to say that. I do like what? I do like Andrew Tate. I don't think he's evil like they want us to think he is. I may not agree with everything he says, but I agree with most of it, or a lot of it. Basically, he's a freedom fighter, and the New World Order doesn't like that, so they're gonna make him out to be a bad guy any way they can. I also found it interesting that he defended Donald Trump, and he kind of opened my eyes a little bit about Trump. I used to think he was a joke, and I mean, not business-wise. I thought he was a decent businessman. When I was in real estate, I studied Donald Trump, and that's how I got my nickname, Kano Trump. But I studied Donald Trump quite a bit, and I quoted Donald Trump quite a bit, and I still quote him every once in a while. My favorite quote Donald Trump said was, "Some people just have a great line of bullshit." You know, it's like, he said in one of his books, he says, you know, he had this guy working for him. He was always on the brink of a good deal, you know. He was about to make something big happen. And every time he was about to fire him, he had this really good idea and he was going to make it happen, but he never did. And he even fooled Donald Trump, but he probably fooled himself. He was probably a narcissist and they believe their own bullshit. But anyways, not saying that Donald Trump's not a narcissist. I don't know. I've never really analyzed him in that manner. In fact, I just started learning about narcissism. But nonetheless, one thing about narcissists is that they believe their own lies. They make up this little fantasy world that they live in, and they believe that that is reality when it is not. Anyway, so when Donald Trump was running for president, I thought he was a joke. I never thought he was going to win. I thought he was put up there for a distraction, and he really just wanted Hillary in, because I really didn't think Donald Trump was going to get in. I just didn't think he was real. I thought he was just a distraction. So he won. Well, Andrew Tate says that he won against all odds, that he wasn't supposed to win. They wanted Hillary to win, which is what I thought. But Donald Trump won. And I honestly, I didn't think he was going to do a good job. He did a lot better job than I thought he was going to do. So, there you go. Anyway, but then they rigged the system, and then Biden beat him. But that's what Andrew Tate said in the video. I guess Andrew Tate thinks that Donald Trump is a freedom fighter too. And maybe he is, maybe he ain't, I don't know. But anyway, one of the gurus that I follow is also a freedom fighter, Minority Mindset. He's on YouTube. Look up the Minority Mindset. I don't follow him as much anymore, but I do follow him. And he pretty much inspired me on the dividend path. After I kind of discovered him before the dividend path, but I didn't really understand anything he was saying. And so I accidentally stumbled upon the dividend path. And then what the Minority Mindset guy was talking about started making more sense. But the Minority Mindset guy is a freedom fighter in the fact that he's trying to educate people with financial education. And apparently Andrew Tate is too. He apparently owns University.com, which Big Brother and Big Education is mad at him because he owns that. And I kind of get that, because I own some domain names that people want, and they're probably mad at me for having them as well. For example, I own girlsforgenderequity.com. That was a thing. It was just getting started back in the day when I bought the domain name. I didn't even know what it meant. I was going to make a social network out of it and, make some money off of it. I got into it for the wrong reasons, sorta. I mean, I was still a freedom fighter, but I thought that gender equity meant the same thing as gender equality. And I bought girlsforgenderequality.com as well. And I just kind of sat on it for a decade, and then I started making a website promoting red pill women under Girls for Gender Equality after I started understanding the difference between equity and equality. And so if you go to girlsforgenderequity.com, it redirects to girlsforgenderequality.com. So but I'm a nobody. Nobody really knows who I am. I did have a lot of freedom fighter stuff on YouTube, and so YouTube shut down my YouTube channel exactly 1 year before or after they shut down Alex Jones. I can't remember if it was before or after, but it was almost exactly 1 year before or after. They shut me down, I think in 2017. But anyways, I can't remember. So I quit making videos for a long time because of that. Because YouTube is part of the New World Order and blah, blah, blah. And I have to be careful what I say because of censorship and all that other crap. So, anyway. So now I've got like several channels. And I try not to be too political just because of the censorship and the whole New World Order bullcrap. But I do slip things in there every now and then, like putting the link to that podcast in my description. So go check out the last video I posted and listen to that whole podcast. It's like 3 hours long, but it's a good one. And it's a good one. Anyways, I was listening to that all day. So I didn't really buy or look at or do much with this, but I did buy a couple more stocks, and I did update my database a little bit. So I'm now, before tax or before theft, I'm at $34 a month. So I'm over my $1 a day projection. But after theft, I'm still under the $1 a day. And I don't know why this says 1%, because 1% of $5,000 is not $25. It's like $50. So anyway, at least I'm pretty sure it is. Maybe it's, yeah, no. Yeah, it should be $50. My math is not the best. I used to be really good at math, but I'm not as good at it as I used to be because I got lazy. You don't use it, you lose it type of thing. So anyway, so yeah, Andrew Tate basically preaches accountability and work ethics and moral ethics. And that's why he converted to Islam. So, I don't know. Some of the things that he has said in the past I disagreed with, but pretty much everything he said on that podcast I did agree with. So go back and listen to that. I'll try to remember to post it in the description of this video as well. But if I do forget, I did post it in the last video in the description. So anyways, yeah. Because of Juneteenth, I think they call it, I didn't get paid on a Thursday like I normally do. I got paid on a Friday. So my money's not going to be available until Monday. But, so I'll be reinvesting some more maybe over the weekend, because like Cash App and Robinhood, I can invest over the weekend and it'll lock in my investment price and purchase the item on Monday at that price. Webull, I cannot. But like I said in the last video, I tried to wait until I get my dividend before I reinvest. That being said, that kind of takes too long. So if I got the money and I think that the stock is a good stock, I'm going to put the money there and not wait. That being said, at Robinhood, I can sit on the money in the bank account. I'm still making 5%, so that's not too bad. It's not too bad. Ideally, you don't want a bunch of red. You want a bunch of that teal and jade. Teal and jade are the best colors to have your investments in because of dividend growth. Now, I am mostly investing in dividends that pay more than 20%. So that's why I have more red. The more red are negative dividend growth. But it doesn't matter if it's negative because it's still over 20%. It's still over 20%. It may drop down to 19% or 18%, but it's still high. So the red, if you're making good money and it's in the red, who cares? Because you're making money. But if the dividend growth is in a negative, then that could be a red flag for the company you're investing in. So be careful. Be careful. Do as I say, not as I do. The gurus say to watch for the green stuff or the teal stuff. Dividend growth, dividend growth, dividend growth. Well, dividend growth stuff usually doesn't pay a whole lot. 1, 2, 3%, maybe less. Maybe more. But usually it's under 5%. So I'm not buying those stocks right now. Unless it's a carbon credit stock. Because, as I said before, with the New World Order, one of the ways they're going to keep us broke is carbon taxing us. So if you want to avoid the carbon tax, you need to buy carbon credits. The best way to buy carbon credits is to buy carbon credits that give a dividend. So you're making money on your carbon credits, and you're also using those carbon credits as tax deductions because of the carbon tax that they want to bring down the pipeline in the future. So pay attention to that. Some of those may have dividend growth because that's what the New World Order is pushing. And all the New World Order people have their money there. So that's one of the secrets of the rich and powerful. So, yeah, focus on tax credits, carbon credits, stuff like that. One thing I thought of today, and I didn't look this up, but I should do it right now because why not, right? Why not? So let's look up the WHO. Well, they're not in here. World Okay, they're not in Cash App, so I don't have to worry about entering my password. We'll go over here to Webull because they'll probably have it. If it exists. Alright. It don't exist, not in here anyways. So, not that I encourage investing in New World Order bullcrap stuff. Like Andrew Tate said, you're not going to be able to avoid this system. The system is coming for all of us. The only way you can avoid the system is to be a sheeple. But it will eat those people too. The system is designed to make us all slaves. And I don't know. Andrew Tate says basically in that video that we need to focus on our wealth. We got 10 years, give or take, maybe 20, to create wealth for our family, because they're trying to make us all poor and dependent on the system. If you own assets, your assets will go up in value. So focus on taking this fake money and turning it into assets. Crypto is not necessarily an asset unless you're making money on it. That's why I like this Bitcoin ETF. Now, usually when you buy stocks, you become a shareholder in said company. Well, does this mean that we are co-owners now in the Bitcoin company? I don't think so. So I'll do some more research on this ETF, because it is an ETF. It won't show my history here. I have to go log in to my deal. But basically, I bought another share today. Of BTO, and it's paying 21.54%. I also bought I bought 3 or 4 shares of KLIP today as well, because they're about to pay out next month. So I was like, well, I'll get it. Hopefully, maybe I'll get in under the radar and get paid for KLIP. I mean, because I already got paid from them in the past, so I know they're paying dividends, unlike some of my other stocks that say they pay dividends, but they haven't yet. So I have no evidence that they pay dividend. Well, KLIP, I have evidence that they paid dividend. I only had $1 and I only got 4 cents. Twice, so 8 cents. But now, I have about $100 in there. So $100 will basically pay me a little over $50 a year before tax. So, not too bad. Not too bad. If I had $1,000, I'd be making, if I had $1,000 in there, I'd be making over $500 before tax. So, yeah. If I wanted to retire, I would only need to have $100,000 in there. But I wouldn't trust that stock enough to have $100,000 in there unless it was $100,000 that I could afford to lose. So that's why you want to diversify your portfolio. Any of these stocks can go under. Usually the ETFs won't. But, oh yeah, that's one thing I wanted to say. I was thinking about this in the last video and I didn't say it. So the main stocks that you really want to have are trusted stocks that have been around for a while and they're not going anywhere. And they keep raising their dividends. So their dividend growth is in the teal or jade colors. I'm not sure how to click on this part to get a more extensive breakdown. But like Zim, with the exception of this last payout, they actually have good dividend growth. CANG has good dividend growth. I wish clicking on this, but I can't see who is teal and who is not, who is jade and who is not. So maybe there's another app, or maybe, oh, this freaked me out because I thought I said WHO. VWO. Oh, okay. So today they announced their payout. Amount per share, 12 cents. Estimated payment, 5 cents. I guess that's on the shares that I have. I guess. I don't know. Oh! That's a red. Let's see here. I mean, not a red, a yellow. On the 28th, I've got some teals. Which ones are teal? I don't know. How do you know who's teal, who's red, who's yellow? So yeah, like see this one. This one has not had dividend growth. But anyway, yeah. So, okay. So, stocks that are teal or jade, those are the ones you want. You want ETFs, REITs. REITs are real estate investment trusts. Those could maybe be iffy. The one that I'm investing in the most right now is ARR. They're paying over 20%. But real estate investment trusts are good investments to invest in, because real estate's almost always a win. It's almost always a good buy. And if you can't buy physical real estate, you might as well buy virtual real estate. Now, when I say virtual real estate, it's probably not the right word, because people are trying to sell virtual real estate on the internet because of the metaverse. The metaverse is the Matrix, and you really kind of want to stay away from that. And you really probably don't really want to promote it, because it's trapping other people into the Matrix. So you're selling the Matrix to the sheeple. So I don't know what to think about that. Digital real estate. Now, digital real estate that's good would be, web hosting, virtual dedicated servers, stuff like that. But metaverse, I don't know. That's a red flag to me as a freedom fighter. But anyway, so real estate. Basically, if you can't afford to buy renewable assets, start with paper assets. And that's what stocks are. Stocks are paper assets. Buy paper gold, buy shares in other companies, invest in ETFs, REITs, index funds, and there's another one, I forgot what it's called, REITs, index funds, ETFs. I don't know if I like bonds, because bonds is investing in the government, but that could be another one. Yeah, I can't think of it. There's another one I just can't figure out. I can't remember what it is. But basically anything that pays a dividend. But if you really are like worried about high risk, stick to those. REITs, index funds, and ETFs. Maybe bonds, but I'm not sure how to buy bonds on here. I don't know if you really can or not. But, basically, that's how the government makes money. So, yeah. When you start doing physical real estate, one thing to do is look into tax liens and tax deeds. I think the tax liens pay better than the tax deeds. Tax deeds is harder and riskier. Tax liens is more of a safe bet. You're just looking to make money. But that money is fake money. So you want to just keep renewing that fake money into renewable assets. Gold, silver, land, whatever physical renewable assets that you can invest in. Invest in those. I don't have a lot of gold or silver, but I got some. Enough to get me by for a little bit, not very long, but enough to get me by for a little bit. I plan on doing more, but right now I'm focusing on paper assets, trying to get my paper assets up as high as I can. And then I'm going to start taking that money. Once I can live off of my paper assets, then I'm going to start turning those paper assets into renewable assets. So, yeah. And then I'll have both paper and renewable assets. And it'll be a whole lot easier because I'll have a whole lot more money to do it with. And when I talk about renewable assets as far as real estate, I live in an area that is kind of like a vacation spot. Now, if our government makes us all poor and dependent, then the vacation spot may not be in existence anymore. But if they continue to give us the illusion of freedom while still enslaving us, then it still might be a thing. So what I'm going to be doing once I can start living off of my paper assets is I'm going to start buying basically rental properties, except I'm not going to have regular rental properties and rent out the properties to tenants per se. I'm basically going to do Airbnb. I'm going to find a realtor that I can trust, and I'll let them run it, or I'll let somebody that I can trust to manage the Airbnbs and let them run it. while I just sit back and collect the paycheck. That way I ain't got to deal with the headaches. If you like the challenge, people think I like challenge because I tend to get into challenging situations. But it's not that I like them, I just keep getting in them, and I have to find my way out of them or work through them. I don't know, maybe I do like it subconsciously, but nonetheless. So, yeah, mostly I just wanted to say, if you're worried about your investment, like my girlfriend, she couldn't handle the ups and downs and with Zim and some of the other stuff. Mostly Zim. Everybody was focusing on Zim. What was Zim doing? Zim. My dad was freaking out. My brother was freaking out. My girlfriend was freaking out. Quite frankly, I was starting to get a little worried too. Zim is still alive. Zim is still doing decent. Let's go over here to Zim. Oh, freaked me out for a second. Oh, what? Oh, okay. That's because I've got money in Webull, in Zim, and in Robinhood. Is that a cop? It's a cop. No, it's not a cop. It's a cop car for sale. Anyways, it's an old cop car. So where is Zim? Zim is at $19.65 right now. So Zim is up. Zim is doing good. My girlfriend, my brother, my father, they all cashed out early. They didn't really lose any money. They just didn't really make any money. I had more faith in them than they did. But that's the problem with investing in individual stocks. They can be more volatile. They're not as safe as ETFs and REITs, index funds. But, you know, if it's a good solid company, like McDonald's, yeah, their hamburgers suck, they're not healthy, it's not really a great company to invest in as far as, you know, the good of humanity. But if you're looking to make money, McDonald's is where you want to put your money. It's a good stable stock because they've been around for a while and they're probably going to be around for a while. The S&P 500, that's probably one of the best places to put your money. Because there, here you have companies that are investing in the top 500 companies in the US, the world, whatever country they decide to pick the best of the best of the best. So like this one here, looks like it's an index fund, S&P 500 index fund, but it's also an ETF. But the dividend on that is less than 1%. Oh, okay. I made money on this one, but I needed money January, So I sold $10 of it. Because I was broke. So here's Vanguard's S&P 500. I made some money on it. My signal sucks. As soon as I get a signal, we'll move forward. But it probably doesn't pay very much either. So it's going to take a while for your money to make money here. Now, the other way to make money is when the stock splits. So, yeah, this stock may only pay 1% or less than 1%. But when the stock splits, you automatically make 100% right there. From what I understand of stock splitting. So it's like you have 100 stocks. So you bought $100 worth of stocks. You enter it's a $1 stock. You now have $100 worth of stock. It pays 1%. You're making $1 a year off of that stock. The stock splits. Now you have $200. You're making now $2 a year off of that stock. So if you have, say, $100,000 in there, you're making, what, $10,000? No. You're making $1,000. The stock splits. Now you have $200,000 in there. And now you're making $2,000. If I did that right. I think I did. So, it doesn't sound horribly inviting to only make $1,000 off of $100,000, but now you have $200,000 because the stock split. It does that 10 times, you're a millionaire, right? So, yeah, but really, you want to average 10% and have at least $1 million in stocks. What happened? There we go. So this one pays just over 1%. But yeah, you want your stocks to give you an average of 10% return on your investment. This one. What is an ETN? I don't know. If it's similar to an ETF, it's good. I got 13 cents in that one. It's down. The stock is down on this one. Am I making money on it? Haven't made any money yet. When did I buy it? 2022. So, apparently this ETF sucks. But I'm not really sure why. But anyhow, here we go. It's not paying a dividend at all. ETFs, from what I understand, are supposed to pay dividends, but apparently not. I don't know. So, yeah, always do your own homework on all this stuff, because, you know, just because somebody says it's a good stock doesn't mean it necessarily is. It may used to have been, now it's not. Or maybe it didn't used to be and now it is. So, yeah, always do your own homework. So basically, my theory is $1 penny in dividends. not giving me the dividend percentage. Because my signal sucks. The stock is up a little bit. Oh, here we go. Just over 1%. So yeah, basically my theory is if it pays 20%, I'm going to throw in $20. If it pays 10%, I'm going to throw in $10. If it pays 1%, I'm going to throw in $1. Because if it only pays 1%, it's going to take 100 years in order for you to double your money. Right? So I figure if I'm throwing in $20 at 20%, it's gonna make its money back in what, 5 years? 10% would be 10 years, so 20% would be 5 years. Then, you know, basically every time it pays a dividend, so if it's paying monthly, every time it pays a dividend, I'll throw in another $20 if it's still paying 20%. If it's paying 21%, I throw in $21. So every month I'm throwing in $20. So every month I'm increasing my dividends. And once that dividend stock is paying me the $21 that I'm putting in back into the dividend stock, that's money that it's helping me fund my stock. So now I can focus on putting my hard-earned money in other stocks. So I'm starting out with the higher yielding stocks, and they're going to help me fund themselves as well as other stocks. Because say that higher yielding stock is paying 21% and it's now paying me $25 a month. Now I'm reinvesting my dividend into that stock, and I have an extra $4 to invest in something else. And when I reinvest that $21, next month that $25 might be $26 or $25.50 or $25.25. You know, it's going to keep going up, and it's going to keep giving me extra money to reinvest in other stocks. So now that stock is paying for itself. And now I can free up my money to invest in other stocks that may be more reliable, may be more dependable. And so that's basically what I'm doing. Then once I'm making enough money to where I can start putting a zero on that number, then I'll start growing everything even faster. So if it pays 21% dividend yield, then I'll throw in $110. You know, that's when I'm going to start getting rich faster, when I start throwing a zero on stuff. Now, ETFs, REITs, index funds, the ones that they say are the most stable, most secure stocks, those ones I would say probably go ahead and throw a zero on it from the get-go. Because they're more stable, they're more dependable, they're more reliable. They're going to be around longer. They're safer. Maybe not 100% safe, but they're safer. So maybe those ones, if you can afford to, throw a zero on it. If it pays 20%, throw in $200. If it pays 1%, throw in $10. It'll take you 100 years to get that $10 back. But if it pays monthly, every month you're throwing in $10. Eventually, it'll start paying for itself. Eventually. So, and then, yeah. So if it pays annually, you reinvest annually every time you get a dividend. If it pays quarterly, you reinvest every quarter. Every time it pays a dividend, you reinvest. If it pays monthly, you reinvest every month. Every time it pays you a dividend, you go in, see what the percentage is, reinvest. If it's 8%, throw in $8 every month. Whatever the percentage is, throw in that many dollars. Unless, you got more money and it's something more stable, you've done your homework, whatever, it's a secure stock, put a 0 on it, invest a little more. That way, you're investing more money into stocks that pay monthly, and that's going to be your monthly income. And then the ones that pay quarterly and the ones that pay annually, those are just bonuses. Those are just bonuses. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm buying a little bit of crypto, but I'm not really into crypto. Crypto is basically fake money, So if I buy any crypto, it's going to be more like day trading, and it's going to be spending money. So it's like gold and silver. They say gold is for saving, silver is for spending. So when I buy silver, that's basically my future spending money if we ever have to go back onto the gold standard, which we should, but we probably, I don't know if we ever will, because the New World Order doesn't want us to. They want us to live in this fantasy, narcissistic fantasy world. But anyhow, I lost my train of thought. Crypto. Let's go. Alright, that's my girlfriend. Gotta go. Yo!
The news is big!
The news is big!
Multiple big news is actually